Thank you for pressing the self-destruction button.
Hey! Oh, hey! It's, it's like a koala bear crapped a rainbow in my brain!
Listen, here's $5. I've got to get to 1008 Park Avenue right away. It's an emergency. Look, I'm really in a hurry. Isn't there something you can do? Be $10 more. Look, I've got to be there before 5. Well, what's going on up there? We're getting someplace. Now, look, will you just get around him? Just get in his lane. Do it! I've got to be there by 5. Hey, mister, you're going to be 10 minutes late, so just keep your shirt on.
I think a lot of us have family members that are going through a crisis or dealing with problems like this. So it's art therapy in a way. It's a cathartic kind of release for me.
Rack lays it up, no, but we do have the whistle and a foul. Ben just went after our 10. Trouble right here in the Motor City. We got big trouble here in the Motor City. Steven Jackson still screaming at the Pistons.
He came back now, but
Short on the headsets. The Indiana broadcast.
and Ben Wallace is threw something at him. There goes Ben Wallace again.
There goes Artest up into the crowd. He's absolutely out of his mind. And Steven Jackson slugging people in the crowd here.
The whole Indiana team is in the crowd.
And now the Pistons are coming over.
And you want to be my latex salesman.
Hey, did you see that? Did you see somebody go past the window? What? Somebody just went past that window, downwards. Oh. Must be a board meeting. Oh, yeah.
He's faking it, Julie. He's faking it.
I think he's in trouble.
Julie, this guy, if he can't take a joke, he stinks.
Get your house!
It's on fire! It's on fire!
Sir, I would like to complain about that last scene about people falling out of high buildings. I myself have worked all my life in such a building and have never once...
Jack, you know what? Hey, I really like that hate t-shirt, the whole angry young man, black thing, generation, you know what I mean? It's cool.
Yeah, it's the name of a comic book. Can I borrow your pen 1 second?
Absolutely.
happy now?
My artwork is popular because it connects with the ordinary person, and they can understand it very easily. And I've always meant it to be so. I've never confined my art to a particular section of humanity. I love people in general. My art reflects it, and that's the way it's always been.
I always do that. Hello, and welcome to Taylor Talks Comics Live, the first episode of the new year, 2026. We are here on National Bobblehead Day. I don't have any bobbleheads to, no, he's not a bobblehead. Yeah, I don't have any bobbleheads to bobble for you on camera, at least in my disposal. I'm sure I have one somewhere. Also, want to wish a happy birthday to Kenny Loggins, Dustin Diamond, the late Dustin Diamond, aka Screech, and it is also Nicolas Cage's birthday. Nicolas Cage, the incredible actor. Thank you guys for lighting up the chat. Please light it up some more. It's gonna be a good show. Just trying to get things back together. This is my new camera angle setup with new lighting and an actual webcam instead of the one on my laptop. Still trying to work out the kinks of the setup here, but it's a work in progress. Otherwise, it's getting better. I'm also, this probably will be the last episode I use StreamYard for. No offense, StreamYard, but I am going to try to move to a new platform where I can get up to 1080p. So if you're wondering why I'm saying I got a new camera and it's still kind of fuzzy, it's because I am on StreamYard and I don't want to pay for the premium setup. So yeah, the new camera will look a lot nicer whenever I get to the next setup. What are you guys talking about in the chat here? Bat Cato, thank you for joining me. Good morning to you. Is this title referencing Cash's Nancy? Not directly, but I did see that first strip from Caroline Cash on Nancy. I'm excited that she's taken over the character. But I guess it is kind of similar, isn't it? To each panel that you said. James Abel, the producer extraordinaire, is in the house. Kirby was just the best. I agree, Picture Peepers. That's why I had that nice, wholesome speech from Kirby at the end of the intro. Paperback Dan, I'm just here so I don't get fined. And he also forgot Screech died, RIP. Paperback Dan has a YouTube channel, and he's also on Instagram, on TikTok. I think he's trying to use Instagram, TikTok more prominently. He's been doing like some weekly haul videos, because he's one of the Wednesday warriors that go there to the shop every week, picking up his singles. So I'm going to go check him out on Instagram and follow him there. So, I took 2 weeks off for the holidays. I wanted to only take 1 week off, but, you know, things happen. Spending time with the family and whatnot. But it did offer me the time to clean out, clean up the studio down here, because the angle that I had earlier on last week or the week, previous, every episode previous to this was such a confined, narrow area that it unfortunately offered me the ability to stack a bunch of crap everywhere all over this table, because this table's very large. Like, I'm not even reaching the ends of it, even with my short arms. But so I was able to stack a bunch of crap all over it, and that's just no way to collect books. So I do have a giant stack right here of a haul to show you guys of things that I've hauled in the last 3 weeks since I've seen you guys. Actually, it might be 4 weeks, because I don't think I did a haul in the last video that I did. But other than that, the table's looking clean and nice. I'm trying to figure out how to make things look spruced up here. Fun to see how many comics in your background can be recognized just by the spine design. I know. I tried to put the ones here behind me that I love the most, and also discriminating against the typical Marvel, DC, omnibus backgrounds that a lot of the comics YouTubers have. Plus, all those are upstairs anyways. So these are like mostly like my my Fantagraphics Drawn and Quarterly, European, like some independent, I guess, books back here to make it a little different. And then I try to put some on display over here. These are the same ones I had on display yesterday when I was on OmniDog's Vault. I was on OmniDog's Vault, and we did a haul video because Harvey Picar's Ghost, who I don't think is in the chat yet, sent us both boxes of books, which is so great, gracious and kind of him. So I went on live with OmniDog to show off those and talk about cool alternative self-published small press comics that Harvey Picar was trying to share with the world. He is the great ambassador of alternative comics, which I'll show those books here too. So don't fret if you didn't see it. But yeah, try to put some new books back here every episode. So I don't know, just so you can see cool looking books. And then I probably change up the action figures and stuff I have back here. I have a whole tub underneath the table of action figures mostly from my youth, honestly, but also from my childhood, or also from things I picked up recently. The Ultra Rooster, thank you for joining me. Hi, hello, everyone. I just finished Murder Falcon. What a fun, fast-paced, high-energy story. Love your videos. First of all, thank you so much for saying you love my videos. And Murder Falcon, I think, yeah, it's right here. I don't know, is it on camera? It is on camera. Look at that. Murder Falcon is a tremendous comic book by Daniel Warren Johnson. This is probably the comic that put him on the map. I assume I got to get better at looking at the camera. The comic that put him on the map was Murder Falcon, because then after that he did like Wonder Woman, Dead Earth. He did Beta Ray Bill with Marvel, and now he's doing, whatever he wants to do. But Murder Falcon is tremendous. I agree. Thanks for the shout, of course, Paperback Dan. Always, always. Oh, then look at this. James, the super producer, is even sharing Paperback Dan's IG. So it's Paperback Dan or Paperback _Dan. For anybody that want to go follow him over there. What do Blubber, Love Bunglers, Monica, and the One all have in common? I'm not sure that they have anything in common. These three are published by Fantagraphics. The One is Rick Veitch. I don't have like a theme of the books I put up there, just ones that I think have cool covers or comics that I love. Maybe I should do a theme and do like a puzzle for you guys to figure out, like, what do they all have in common? Or do they have something in common and you've picked it out and you're giving me a puzzle? I don't know. I'll try to figure that out later. Did you see Optic Binding's new release this week? I did, Picture Peepers. And honestly, I don't know. Optic Binding or Optics Binding? I don't know what it is. He's on Instagram. He also does a lot of book producing, book binding of his own, book design on his own. And I have to say, I don't know. He did Outland this week, or he released the video of him doing it. Outland by Jim Steranko. That was a film adaptation of the movie Outland from Jim Steranko. And it was originally serialized in Heavy Metal magazine, never been reprinted in a collection, at least not in English. I don't know if maybe overseas they have. But Optic Binding did this beautiful book. Like, it is breathtaking. So I don't know who did a better book, a better version of Outland between Picture Peepers and Optics Binding, but I feel like somebody needs to get the rights to Outland and hire both of them to do a collaborative book design, because one, I need that book in my collection, and two, their book design is just, both of them do a tremendous job, and I don't know how they haven't been hired by some publisher. Although he did say, Optics Binding did say that he was commissioned to do, commissioned freelance job to do that book, Outland, to make like a dozen copies or whatever, not for sale because he can't sell them, but as a gift for all of the Heavy Metal crew, because the Heavy Metal magazine came back and the publisher there wanted to have a gift for the editors and things that are working for Heavy Metal. So they all got a copy, which is such a cool gift. Murder Falcon is great. Totally forgot about that one when I was doing my top 5 image books the other day. So would it have made your top 5? I wonder. Yeah, Dan did just release a top 5 image comics or series of all time on his TikTok and Instagram. And that's Dan's favorite publisher of all time. So who better to produce a list like that? There are comics not made by Marvel and DC that can't be true. Oh, I know, right? Yeah, I love Marvel and DC as much as, well, not as much as the next guy, but I have plenty of Marvel DC comics in my collection still. But as I get older, I feel myself veering farther and farther away from them. I think looking at the stack of my haul here, which looks like about yay high, there are 4 DC books, although one was originally published with a different company, so I don't know if that counts, and no Marvel. So everything else, though, is from elsewhere. Real quickly, I should probably do some plugs before I get into my haul. Dun, 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 dun. If you want to shop for some comics, shop over at panelboundcomics.com and use my promo code TaylorTalksComics for $2 off of your order. That is a $2 off in addition to any other savings they have on the website. If they have sales going on, you can knock another $2 off. Or if you're going to order a larger order with 4 books or more, you can use my other promo code, which is TTC Ship It Together, all one word, TTC Ship It Together. And they'll save 5% off of additional savings on top of whatever other savings they have. And keep in mind, pre-ordering books through Panelbound Comics is the way to go because their pre-order prices are cheaper than what their prices are when the book comes out. So they give you a little bit of extra savings there if you pre-order the book. So if there's books down the line that you want to get to, you can do that. And also, smash the like button, subscribe, comment down below. Even if you're watching this on replay, comment down below. I reply to all comments, and super chats are always welcome and super appreciated. Dun, dun, dun. That format he went with was insane. Widescreen, like 12 by 17-ish pages. I know. So it's crazy how different his was than yours. Like, you both have such good eye for design, and your designs were so tremendous that if I had both of them next to me, I don't know, there'd probably be things I love about each of them that I'm like, I love this about this one more than this one. They're both beautiful, though, and I just love that this weird niche movie adaptation done by a legendary Jim Steranko has had the inspiration of 2 creative minds like your guys, like Picture Peepers and Optics Binding, to put together a collection like that. Oh, geez. I was able to pay off my car with the money I saved using Taylor's PBC code. There you go. Paperback Dan's paying off cars because he's saving with my promo code. Hey now! Fresh Pots! Yes, this is my local coffee shop, and the name is Fresh Pots, and it says support your local pot dealer, as in coffee pots. It's a gift my wife got me for Christmas. So yes, it's referring to coffee, but it's kind of a double entendre, right? One of my favorite videos of all times. Oh wait, is there a Fresh Pots video I don't know about? Is that like a viral thing? I don't know. Or are you referring to yesterday's video with Omnidog? Because Harvey Picar's Ghost was the star attraction. He was so gracious and kind to send us those awesome comics. And I have them on my stack right here to show you guys as well. But I was on Omnidog's Vault twice in the last 4 days. Saturday night, I spent 2 hours with him just talking comics, going over our goals, reading goals for the upcoming year. And then yesterday, I did the video showing off those hauls. So let's get into it. I don't know if I showed these off on any sort of haul before, but I did get Pleasure Beach #1 by Josh Pettinger and Crickets #9. Crickets #9 made it onto my video of top 25 favorite comics of the year in 2025. I don't know if I showed that off or not, so I just wanted to show that off real quickly. All right, but I also got Pleasure Beach number 2. So this is by Josh Pettinger. This is his new ongoing series. And yes, this is Pleasure Beach number 2. And this is on sale. I think he has both issues on sale right now. But if not, there is a, right? Is it on the back there? Yeah. It says in the last issue, it has like a little blurb right here explaining what was going on with the first issue. So I don't know if the first issue is on sale on his website or not, but this is issue number 2, Pleasure Beach. It's awesome. So Josh Pettinger is a hilarious cartoonist. Tedward, his book Tedward, which I have within my reach here, was on my top 25 comics of last year video as well. Funny stuff. It's like dry British wit humor with kind of surreal comedy. Hilarious stuff. But Pleasure Beach is getting into the more, it's like his, I keep comparing it to this, which I don't know if that is an accurate assessment or not, but it's like kind of like his Daniel Klaus cast like a velvet glove cast in iron. It's got like kind of a David Lynchian type vibe to it. So it's really Josh Pettinger stretching his writing muscles, which I like. And also I love this format because it's like a tabloid magazine format. So I've been loving this. Looking forward to future issues of Pleasure Beach. Which I don't know. Harvey, has he said how many issues this will be? Has he like put a number on it yet? One thing I got to figure out with my lighting is whenever I show books off, it's like really splotchy. Let me see if I can do this live on the air. Dun, 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 dun. I like that Black Phoenix spine behind you. I got it on the ground floor of Black Phoenix with single issues, and it's amazing stuff. Yes, I absolutely love that book. I don't subscribe to Rich Tomaso's Patreon, which I always feel like I'm just not a big Patreon guy, I guess. But I always feel like if I were to follow someone, it would be him because that's the only way you can get the single issues of Black Phoenix. But he did release this with Floating World, this beautiful hardcover. And I absolutely love this book. I need to show this off in a video because this is a gorgeous book and just awesome comics. But he has released, Harvey, how many issues of Black Phoenix have come out since that hardcover? Like, does he have enough to make another hardcover? And will he make another hardcover? Do you have any word or insight on that? I wasn't following Optic Binding until now. They're awesome. You won't regret that at all. Sorry, just checking. Got some notifications here. Oh, Picture Peepers. You won't regret it. Harv, his work is unbelievable. OMG, Taylor hasn't seen the Fresh Pots video? I don't think so. Maybe. I don't know. I'll send it to you to watch after the stream. It's only like a couple minutes and it's great stuff. Okay, so it must be like a viral video. But this, I don't know. Maybe they named their shop after that. They've had the shop's only been in business for a couple years now. Maybe that's kind of what, I don't know. How old is it? Oh, geez. The DeLorean here. I need to put some brake pads on this thing. It's trying to drive off and into the future here. What if I put something in front of it? I am building the 66 Batmobile. I think I showed it off in both of the videos with OmniDog. It's currently upstairs though, and I'm like four or five bags away from building the Lego Adam West Batmobile, which is cool. Pleasure Beach is Josh's most British comics yet, possibly. Ooh, okay. I feel like all of his comics that I've read so far have had a tinge of British to it, whether it be humor or not. Let me see if this will come up on. Okay, that's a little bit better. I did pick up this. This is Cyborg 009, Cyborg 009. I don't know how you say that colloquially. Can't say that word either. But this is a old Tokyo Pop printing of Volume 1, and I've always wanted to read this series. This is by Shitaro Ishinomori, who also was maybe the godfather of the tokusatsu genre, of the Power Ranger kind of aesthetic, with the Super Sentai manga that came out, and Kamen Rider. He also did that manga. But this is Cyborg 009. I think this might be his longest ongoing series. He was like super prolific. Like he was up there with almost with Tezuka as far as how many manga he drew. But he also did the Zelda comic book series that was on in Nintendo Power magazine back in the day. So Shitaro Ishinomori is awesome. But I haven't read the series, and my comic shop had Volume 1 in their used section, so I picked that up. Do you have that Old Boy manga? I want it. I don't. Thank you for joining me, by the way, CSL Rocks 007. CSL Rocks is the proprietor of the Cupcakes Comic Reviews YouTube channel. Everybody go check that out and subscribe. He is also a Wednesday warrior, and every Wednesday he does a video on his pickups. So I'm assuming CSL Rocks, you'll have a video today or tomorrow on your pickups for the week. Hopefully you picked up Twilight Zone #3 by James Stocco, perhaps. But no, I did not pick up the Old Boy Deluxe Edition. I'm considering it though. But Shelf Space is always at a premium. It is only 2 volumes, so that's enticing. But I don't know. Not yet, at least. I haven't. So this is the Harvey Picar's Ghost. Today is a Wednesday. I know, but I didn't know if you're doing your video today or if you're going to release it tomorrow. I know you typically do it Wednesday night. I didn't know how busy you were. I didn't want to tell the viewers to expect a video from Cupcakes Comic Reviews today if it wasn't going to come out today. Oh, crap, I got to go. Oh, to the store. Okay, so maybe you forgot it was Wednesday. Yes, it's a Wednesday. Go get your comics. This is the stack I got from Harvey Picar's Ghost, which again, thank you so much, Harvey. Like seriously, anytime someone sends me books, I never take it for granted. It's always super appreciated. And a highlight for me, it's like birthday and Christmas all over again. And I love to show off these kinds of comics on my channel to hopefully they will, I don't know, other people will pick them up. But I got Goiter by Josh Pettinger, the aforementioned. And this is the trade paperback collection from Floating World. And it's also signed and sketched. I wasn't expecting that. I was talking to Harvey, and I said that, there we go. There's the sign and sketched. I was talking to Harvey and said that I'm going to be interviewing Josh Pettinger soon, but this is the only bit of his comics I haven't read yet, besides stuff that came out before Goiter. I think he might have had some earlier stuff, but like I've read all the Tedward stuff and Pleasure Beach, but this is the one that was missing, and he said he had multiple copies, and he sent this to me. So I'm excited to read this in preparation for that interview. He also sent me this Nate Garcia Jam comic, Pummel Tuna, and it's like this accordion, which I think it's a Jam comic with Julie Collette. Harvey, if you're in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong. But it's beautiful colors. I love the aesthetic of it. Obviously, I love the go-go checks. Anybody who knows my channel knows that's part of my branding. And then it came with a cool belly band. Just like really, really beautiful art object. So I need to do an updated video on all of my Nate Garcia books. One, because I need to show off more of his comics, and two, Juliette Collette. Thank you, Harvey. And two, so I can get with Harvey and figure out which Nate Garcia comics I'm missing, so I can start tracking him down. Because Nate Garcia, he's in his early 20s. I think he's 21, 22, maybe. But when he was 19 back at, a few years ago, he sent me his earliest. Oh, it says Juliette Collette right there. Okay. He sent me his first few comics. It was Horn Rim 1 and 2 in a sketchbook. And Horn Rim 1 and 2 are his one-man anthology. And he just sent them to me and said, "Hey, could you review these on your channel?" I said, "Sure," like whatever. But then I got him in, and I was blown away that this kid was only 19 years old and he was drawing the way that he was drawing. Like, this is going to be a cartoonist to watch. And I felt like I was on the ground floor of it. Kind of brought me back to my high school years when I discovered like a new punk band that I was on the ground floor of listening to before they made it big, you know. I was like on the ground floor, Nick Garcia, so I got to pick up everything he ever does, because I missed out on like Charles Burns and Dan Clowes. I wasn't even alive when they started their careers, so I wasn't able to pick up everything they ever did in their career. There's still some gems of theirs that I don't have. So when I get on the ground floor of these young cartoonists, I want to pick up everything they have. And also sent me a book, a comic that I've been wanting to read, but it's mostly out of print. This is War Epic by Nathan Cowdery, and he sent me all 3 issues. I think issue number 3 might still be in print, but I don't think it might be harder to find all of the other issues. But Nathan Cowdery, which you'll see a book in my haul later, is an awesome cartoonist. And I know Simon and Josh Pittinger Simon Hanselman and Josh Pittinger are big fans of his. They've had him on their channel, Manga Chat. And Harvey sent that to me because he said that Josh Pittinger was a big fan of his, and he might bring it up on the channel so we can talk about it whenever I interview Josh. So thank you, Harvey. That haul was amazing. It's the second box you sent me this year, and I always appreciate that. I got a super chat. Thank you, Oni Babiaga. Taylor, are you able to get a sponsorship from Magnetic Press to get their books out there? These things are bangers, and more people need to know, in my honorable opinion. First of all, thank you so much for the super chat. Always grateful for that. The fact that you're willing to, take money out of your pocket to send to me to help my channel, always appreciated. But as far as the sponsorship goes, I don't think so. And also, they have sent me books. I showed them off in a haul a few months ago, and I still need to do videos for a few of them, actually. But they did send me some of the books, and I don't know. My contact with them, my direct contact with Magnetic Press, no longer works with them. He's moved on to I don't want to say bigger and better things, but he's moved on to a different thing. So I'd have to I need to re-engage that communication with them, I guess I should say. But yeah, their stuff is great. The release recently that I want to pick up from them that has caught my eye was the MFKZ. I don't know how you say that, if you want to say the mother effers, but MFKZ seems so up my alley, like that comic book. So that's one that I definitely have my eye on. But thank you again, Oni Baba Yaga, for the super chat. And then back up here, the art for Twilight Zone number 3 was amazing. How was the story? So Twilight Zone I showed off the Tom Scioli issue number 2 that I picked up, and I love that issue. I'm planning on picking up issue number 3 and maybe do a video on both of them. If my shop has issue number 1, maybe I'll pick that up. But I love this series because I love Twilight Zone. It's one of my all-time favorite TV shows. It's just amazing. Rod Serling was a genius. But this new comic series that IDW is doing, I'm very much interested in it. But I don't think I'm going to pick up every single issue, because what they're doing is they're having a different creative team on each issue. And it makes sense, because Twilight Zone was every episode was a different story, as an anthology series. So I like that, and I think I'm just going to pick up the issues of the cartoonist or creative teams that pique my interest. And James Stokoe and Tom Scioli are definitely up there as my favorites. James, have they announced any future issues and who the creative teams are? Let me know if you can pull that up for me. Stokoe rules. I agree. I'm still waiting. One day, I don't know if I have it back here. It's back here somewhere. We still need a Godzilla Half-Century War in a giant kaiju-sized edition, whether it be artist edition or just a giant format. It's a travesty that we haven't got that. I'm a huge Shotaro Ishinomori fan. Check out the Kamen Rider hardcover that Seven Seas put out. Maybe the best motorcycle comic ever. So this is Wesley Griffith of the Jump fame. With the Jump, I've showed a video off on that if one of the moderators wants to post a link to it. And then also, it made it into my top 25 favorite comics of 2025 video. Wesley Griffith, awesome cartoonist. I hope that you have issue number 7 in the pipeline of the Jump. I'm looking forward to more of the Jump. But I can see that an inspiration here. You're calling it the best motorcycle comic ever. There's definitely some motorcycles in the Jump. I see where you're going with that. I love seeing artist inspirations. Cartoonists, I wish, were more upfront about like the comics they dig, so you can see the inspiration in their comics. But I have that hardcover, Wesley Griffith. I have that one and the Super Sentai hardcover from Seven Seas. And I think my son might have the Zelda collection from Nintendo Power. Our pal Connor loves Kamen Rider. He does. Actual Dracula. Good afternoon. Should you be awake right now if you're actually Dracula? Or is that a lame joke? Juliette Colette. Yes, there's the name. What is with YouTube? Sometimes it shows names and sometimes username in live streams. I don't know. It might be a YouTube thing. It might be a StreamYard thing. I'm not sure. Did you buy the Jimmy Brown album Nick did the art for it? I didn't. Actually, Harvey, I didn't start listening to Jimmy Brown until like last month when I was going through my binge watch of all the manga chats, and they kept bringing him up. I was like, okay, let's listen to him. And he's awesome. So I don't know if that's still in print. I don't know, but I am a Jimmy Brown fan. I've turned a corner on that, and I would love to own that. That sounds awesome. I think he did a T-shirt for him too, didn't he? Do you have the 2 smoke signals with Nate Garcia comics in them? I have at least one of them. I might have both. I know I have one smoke signal issue that someone sent me that has a Nate Garcia in it. I think I might have both, though. I don't know. Here's Cupcake Comic Reviews. CSL Rocks jumped over onto his actual channel, which is good for marketing. Good job. I know you don't have the issue of Told to Tell that has never collected Alonzo Huff short in it, right? I don't think so. That's the stuff I'm missing, is where Nate did a short story in an anthology or another title. So that's the stuff I need to seek out and pick up. Good luck finding that. Oh no. What is Magnetic Press? They're a company that publishes mostly European comics. They're great though. Is it like Bad Idea? No. They do mostly like hardcovers, and I guess they do paperbacks. Speaking of paperbacks, I thought in my honest opinion, never heard honorable before. Oh, IMHO. I always, back in the day on AIM Instant Messenger, Dan, before your time, I think we always thought it was honorable opinion. That implies the same thing, though, isn't it? Like my honest opinion, my honorable opinion. I don't know. I think he means MAGA press. Taylor is a big. Oh no, Harvey, this is a joke. If there was ever a MAGA press, I would never. Zing! I would never be a fan of that. Taylor is a MAGA guy. No, don't believe this. Got him. IMHO means in my humble opinion. So there's 3 different definitions apparently. No, MAGA sucks though. I'm not a MAGA guy. Apologies to anybody that is. Taylor is a big EVS JDA guy. I am not. This is all fake, all false. We still need Stocco to finish Orkstain too. Yes. And that needs to be, all James Stocco comics should be released in giant formats. I think the biggest format of a comic I have of his is Dead Orbit, Alien Dead Orbit, which is not here because it's too big. But I'm trying to think. I know Godzilla definitely has not been in a big size. I do have the Sullivan Sluggers hardcover that showed off on my channel during October. That might be the same size as Dead Orbit. So IMHO doesn't mean I'm a hoe. There's a 4th definition. Agreed. I would buy an artist edition of that in a heartbeat. I would almost love like an artist edition that also collects the finished pages as well. So we have it in a giant kaiju format. I was a member of Stocco's Patreon for a while, and I think he released a full issue digitally. There that hasn't been published, but I'd have to check. Of Orkstain? Interesting. I tell you all to read my Dress Up Darling, but no. Is that a manga? Is that by Shitaro Ishinimori? Cupcakes, I think that it also means that. It just depends on what website you're on at the time. Here's the Godzilla. Oh, I did see this. Yes, James. This, and also they released a Godzilla Monster Piece Theater, the Tom Scioli Godzilla joint, in these giant slipcases, but they're super exclusive and super kind of pricey. So you're correct. They did do an oversized edition. And I almost tried to pick both of those up when they had their big sale for Black Friday, Christmas season. I think it was like 50% off or something crazy, but I didn't. I'll probably regret that. But part of me still feels like if a publisher goes to the lengths of making it in that format for an exclusive edition, I feel like they should also then have motivation to release it in a non-exclusive version. Like, because that issue comes with like a slipcase and like a art piece inside with the book. So just release just the book. You can still keep like the art piece and slipcase exclusive. Love it, Harvey. Jimmy Brown is so good. Yes, on my posts for when I was showing off or promoting the Simon Hanselman interview, I used Jimmy Brown music for it. I'm not awake. Oh, actual Dracula is talking to us in his sleep. I'm an obese alcoholic is still my favorite. That might have been the song I used. It was something about being an alcoholic, which I guess is a lot of us music, so maybe not. The Twilight Zone number 4 artist and writer will be Nate Powell. That's intriguing. Yeah, I bought all the shirts that Nate did for Jimmy too. Twilight Zone number 5 writer and artist will be Francisco Francavilla and L. Marlo Francavilla. Definitely picking up issue number 5. Definitely picking up issue number 5. Davey Collins says humble opinion, LOL. I don't know if that means he's co-signing that it's humble opinion or laughing at the fact that it's humble opinion. Actual Dracula on brand is saying it's in my horrible opinion. Wait, Taylor won't be selling protein questionable powder soon? I don't know what that means. I'll sell anything though. Did you grab either of the new any of the new Metal Hurlant books? Still trying to get a handle on what they include. I did not. I want to. It's just I'm not a big Kickstarter guy as far as like backing them. I back them. I with saying that I backed 2 in the last month, but for these bigger publishers that I don't really back the bigger publishers Kickstarters. I usually wait for it to hit the direct market, and then by the time Metal Hurlant and Heavy Metal, both those releases got hit the direct market, I just didn't pick them up yet. I do still have an interest in it. Here we go, Wesley Griffith. Issue number 7 of the Jump has 19 pages of 32 completed. 12 more to go. Ishii Mori's dynamic vehicle action sequences are a total inspiration. Yes. So Wesley Griffith will be releasing issue number 7 of the Jump in the near future. I don't want to put a date on it or a deadline for him, but it will be coming out. That's an important thing. Dress up as a manga and anime. As an artist, you have interviewed. I tell you what I dig. Oh. I feel like we share interests in a lot of comics, though. Josh, I've sought out comics you've talked about. Did you see the manga chat with Jasper Jubinville and Jim E as guests? I can't remember which episode were from the IG era that haven't been saved. No, I did not. That's not on their YouTube, so I didn't see it. I haven't checked are any of those still archived on Instagram? So I would go back and watch those. Protein powder, aka podcast influencer, aka Manga joke. No, I would be selling soy protein powder. Is that a thing? Soy protein powder, because I'm a soy boy, apparently. Do you have the issue of Zine Panique with the wraparound Nate Garcia, Josh Pettinger jam cover? I don't. Did they have comics on the inside as well? I need to make that Nate Garcia video or just lay them all out so I can show Harvey and be like, this is all I have. Let me know what I'm missing. I'm going to do this haul rather quickly. I don't know if I've shown this off yet as a haul, but this is Ant Colony by Michael DeForge. I might have shown this off. I don't know. But this is a cool little weird landscape book. This is Stunt. Sorry, this isn't Ant Colony. Ant Colony is the bigger hardcover landscape. This is Stunt by Michael DeForge. And it's about a stuntman. And read this instantly when I got it in the mail, and it's hilarious, but also depressing. But Michael DeForge is a cartoonist I'm trying to collect everything from. It's a cool little comic there. I did get a couple of these manga from, is this the New York who are these? Who's the publisher? Oh yeah, New York NYRC, the New York Review Comics. I got Ding Dong Circus, and that's by Sasaki Maki. And I got Ninja Sarutobi Sasuke by Shigeru. I probably butchered that. But these are some of the classic manga that have been reprinted in recent years that I've missed out on, and I got these on sale. I think I got those from Cheap Graphic Novels. I also got Julie Doucet's 365 Days. This is one of the Julie Doucet books I do not have, and this is from John and Quarterly. Well, I have it now, obviously. But I'm excited to dive into this. Julie Doucet is another cartoonist that I need to do a video on. I have the Dirty Plot box set. I don't know if you can see it. No, you can't see it on the camera. Or can you? No, you can't. By the Julie Doucet Dirty Plot box set. Why does it keep falling out? And I think I got another, my New York, what's that name of the book? My New York Year or something like that. So I have at least 3 things I can show off of hers. She was a cartoonist that was massively big in the alternative scene in the late 80s, early 90s. And then she went on to just do like fine art, I think. I don't know. I didn't really follow her fine art career. But she kind of left comics and then came back for here and there. I think there is one other book I could get that I don't have. And then here's another Michael DeForge joint that I didn't have, and this is Leaving Richards Valley. And this is a thick collection. And it's very shiny from John and Quarterly. And it's like small mini comic sized, 4 panels per page. But this is like his most critically acclaimed book, and I didn't have it in my collection. I never read it. It even has a Simon Hanselman blurb on it with even Tommy Parrish and Anna Highfish all have blurbs on the back. So let me get into the chat here. Catch up before I continue. I know where you can buy a lot of soy for cheap. Oh, do you? Have I sent you my personal archive version of the inaugural manga chat with Noah Van Sciver as a guest? I don't think so. But I would love to watch that if you could send it to me. Because Noah Van Sciver is amazing. I actually have a Noah Van Sciver book in this haul that I'll be getting to. Taylor, have you read any of the... Oh, thank you, Matt, for joining me, by the way. Have you read any of the Question by Denny O'Neil, Dennis Cowan? I'm thinking of picking up the first omnibus pretty cheap. I've never read the Question. Thanks in advance. Thumbs up. I think... Did I do a video on that? I know I bought and read the first volume, and I loved it. It was great. If you're into, like... I don't think it was an official Vertigo title, but if you're into, like, the Vertigo era of DC Comics... then I definitely pick it up. I don't think I did a video on it. No. Oh, no, that's not mine. Nope, that's not mine. Nope. Yeah, I don't think I did a video on it, unfortunately. Or else I would direct you to that. But I loved it, though. If you're into, like, the Vertigo era comics from DC, you'll dig it. Dennis Cowan's artwork is great. His covers in the run are amazing. The cover of the first omnibus is a Bill Sienkiewicz cover, and that cover is brilliant as well. And then Denny O'Neil's, he's such a great writer. I don't know that I've read any Denny O'Neil comics that I didn't like. So I highly recommend it, actually. This video is for Harvey and only Harvey. Oh, the books I'm showing off? No, well, I've got a DC omnibus to show off next that I don't think Harvey picked up. Yeah, he made me buy that Question omnibus. I did. I feel like you need more mini comics. I do. But the only way to pick those up is directly from the artist or at conventions and things. And that's something I wanted to make it intention to do more of, is to buy directly from the artists and cartoonists. So I think you'll see more in the future. Michael DeForge is great. I agree, Dracula. He is one of my favorites. How was it? I don't think he read it yet. Which DeForge books do you not have? I don't have Birds of Maine. That's the most recent book of his that I don't have. All the Cameras in My Room comes out this month, so I'm excited to pick that up. I'm missing issues of Lose, issues 1, 2, and 3, which are really hard to find. And there's some other smaller collections that I don't have of his, because he's really prolific. I think Brat might be the name of one of them that I don't have, and Sticks of Angelica might be another. I don't know. I have a list going of his books that I need to pick up still. Nate has a 2-pager in that Zine Panique, but I think he reprinted it in Zine later. But the Zine Panique version is better quality. Ooh. Gekiga is a true Claypots comics. I agree. Bunkmaster loves the question. Okay, there's a good review for you. Bunkmaster B. He's a friend of the channel. Do you have the Zine Panique Metal Erlant tribute issue that has Jasper Jubenville 3-page Kaza homage? What in the heck? I don't know if I have any Zine Paniques, Harvey, and that sounds freaking amazing. I did get the hardcover of Kaza. I don't know how to pronounce that. Last year, which I guess it's super out of print now from Humanoids. It was like a Kickstarter, but then I got my copy from Cheap Graphic Novels, I think, or maybe Panel Bounds. I don't know which one of those retailers that got copies from the Kickstarter. So seeing a Jasper Jubenville would be great. I think I have all the Loose issues except the Sketchbook one, Loose. Oh yeah, Loose is another one I don't have. But Loose, I have issues 4 through 7. I'm just missing 1 through 3. And I think he always says that he's never going to reprint those, which I don't know. I feel like if you're a cartoonist with a name big enough to be like published as frequently on Drawn and Quarterly as he is, he's just leaving money on the table. Like, you could do a great big hardcover collection of Lose 1 through 7 and almost put no effort into it, because as long as he has it all scanned, just do cool book design, which does take effort. I'm not trying to say, but it's not like you have to make a whole new comic. So he has, like, the comics are made. He just has to design the book and put it out there, and then it's like money in his pocket. So I don't know. It might be a thing where he's not proud of that material anymore. I don't know. Speaking of manga, have you seen Sludge, the anthology of Wild and Cheap Gekiga? Davey Collins, I have, and I own every volume that has come out previous to this year. The most recent one that came out in, I think, January or maybe even December. I don't have that volume yet, but I have all the other ones. I've done multiple videos on Smudge Manga, at least 3 videos, and then they've popped up in a lot of other videos of mine. I love the Smudge imprint. Anything they do, I will pick up for sure. 2 of their books have been announced that made it onto my top 50 most anticipated books of 2026 video that I did. But every volume they come out with is just better than the last. It's like, no, this is the best Smudge manga. And then I get the next one. It's like, no, this is the best one they released. Thanks, man. I'll check it out. Appreciate it. I think we were learning Taylor needs to follow Zine Panique on Instagram. If I don't already, then I will after the show. He's definitely claimed he's never going to reprint Lose 1. Even if he did a hardcover collection collecting the best of Lose, that would be better than not having it in print at all. Man, it's pretty awesome. It's about a reporter who basically dresses up as a vigilante, fight crime in Underworld. Vic Sage is awesome. If you like crime noir, you will love the question. Great little review from Cupcakes Comics Reviews. Lose number 1 has a lot of references to copyright characters, so maybe that prevents reprints. Oh, that's fair. It makes sense. Hey, Patch. Hey, Taylor, what's up? How you doing? I met Patch over on Omnidog's Vault yesterday. Got you. Also, your books are in the mail. Excuse me. A Body Beneath is a collection of Lose 2 through 5. I think it's just missing the covers. Oh. So that would be a way to get Lose 2 and 3. But all of Lose 2 and 3 are collected in there? I got issues 2 and 3 of Lose when they were released, which I got the first issue. Not Smudge, which is a great imprint, but Sludge. Oh, Sludge. Oh. Hold on. Sludge, the anthology of wild. No, I don't have any of Sludge. I'm sorry. Thank you for correcting me, Davey. Sludge, not Smudge. It's interesting that they're both doing manga reprints. No, I don't. Is that like? Is it an anthology collecting old manga, or is it like is it like the Smudge imprint where they're releasing books? Let me know. Also, on my haul, I got Doom Patrol Omnibus by Keith Giffen. I'm a huge Doom Patrol fan. I will pick up any collection we have, which I think we're only missing the John Arcudi run so far, which they kind of highlight here on the inside of the dust jacket. And I think the omnibus has been announced. And I think that's it. I think the only other Doom Patrol we don't have an oversized format would be the most recent series, which only lasted 7 issues. So I probably need to pick up the trade paperback. But I love the way DC's mapping these out now. They did the same thing with Suicide Squad Omnibus, where the first, because Keith Giffen's run only lasted about 21 issues, I think. So it would be a pretty slim omnibus if it only collected that. But the first 300 pages of this omnibus are all set up for the Keith Giffen run. And the setup does include all the Doom Patrol characters, so it's all relevant. And I love that because it kind of sets this is an era of DC that I'm not familiar with. This is New 52 era, I think, that I'm not so familiar with. So it was piecing things together. Like I've never read Infinite Crisis, for instance, and it's kind of piecing that together, as well as the Jeff Johns Teen Titans run, which I have read. That's one of the few things from this era that I have read. I read that in my teenage years with no context of anything else going on in DC at the time. And I love that run. So it was cool to revisit the Teen Titans in here. I'm about 200 pages into this omnibus. Yeah, 207 pages into this omnibus. So I'm almost to the Doom Patrol run of Keith Giffen that I've never read. I'm a huge Keith Giffen fan. So excited to dive into this. Excited for more Doom Patrol. The chat's lighting up. I appreciate it. Thanks. I'm 95% sure I'm going to grab it. I may be able to find a copy eventually here in Toronto. Yeah, I think in Canada it'd probably be easier to find issues of Blues than where I'm looking, which is eBay. I have the collection, but not the individual issues to compare. From what I can tell, it includes a full comics content from the issues 2 and 3 of Blues. What are some of your goals for 26 for those of us that missed the OmniDog show? Excuse me. So maybe I should take a drink. My reading goals are, last year I read 118 books, which is the most I've ever read in 1 year. I'm on Goodreads. If anybody wants to follow me on Goodreads, the link is down in the description. Also, my letterbox down there where I review movies and actually write out reviews for movies. They're only a few sentences long, but if you're interested in what movies I like and what I'm watching, follow me on Letterboxd. But as far as Goodreads, so my Goodreads goal, I always make it one book more than I read the previous year. And I've met my goal every single year but one since I've been on Goodreads, which has been, I think, 6 or 7 years now. And this year, my reading goal is 119 books. Now, I don't know if I'm going to meet that or not. And the reason is because of my other goal, which is that kind of counterintuitive to have two different goals working against each other. It's probably bad planning on my part. But my other goal is to read one prose book a month. So I showed those off on the stack of prose books that I have that I'm going to be reading or picking from. I showed those off on OmniDog's Vault. A bunch of Kurt Vonnegut, Dungeon Crawler Carl, Cormac McCarthy, some Stephen King, some Richard Stark. So one prose book a month. I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry. Sorry to keep clearing my throat. But they're all shorter, smaller prose books. I'm not going to read any big gargantuan things because that will definitely be counterintuitive to my comics reading. So I just want to mix in some prose. This month I'm finishing The Shining. I'm already behind on it a little bit on my goal. But The Shining will be the book of January, and then Dungeon Crawler Carl will be February's book. And my other reading goal, I want to make my zine, the zine I keep talking about. I'm going to release that. At least I'm going to release it in 2026. Hopefully multiple issues. So that's one of my other goals. I guess it's not like a reading goal necessarily, but that's one of my goals. I think that was it. I think that's it. The Invincible was on there though, Dan. I know it's like your favorite comic book series ever. Omni Dog has never finished the series. He's only read the first 3 hardcovers, which I think is the first 36 or so issues. And he has said that when he gets to reading it, we'll read it together, maybe do a reading club, because he's also known as a Robert Kirkman hater. And I think someone else chimed in that they were also not a big fan of Robert Kirkman. And the 3 of us are going to do a video on, we don't care for Robert Kirkman, but we read Invincible. Here's how we thought, or here were our thoughts on it, or whatever. So look forward to that. Maybe this will be the first year that I read all of Invincible. Try Beguiling on college. Thanks, man. Looking forward to. Okay. Yes, that's where I got the other issues. That's the best store in Toronto of indie comics. You might find older issues on BMV. Still kind of crazy. Got to wrap this up and figure out what's next. You are following Zine Panique. Okay, so I am following. Don't take that as like a Taylor is following him. How's he not paid attention kind of thing. You can check my Instagram. I follow thousands of accounts. Anytime I come across an account that has anything remotely cool on it, I'll follow it. Whether it be like weird toys someone's making, like action figures someone's personally making, or any sort of comic book art that I dig, an artist. So I could have been following Zine Panique for years now, and it doesn't come up in my feed. So I blame Mark Zuckerberg and the algorithm. Speaking of algorithm, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, comment down below. All those things help the YouTube algorithm put my videos in front of the eyeballs of other comic book fans that don't know my channel exists. Doesn't cost you a dime, just a little bit of your time. Oh my gosh, there's so many. You guys are lighting up the chat. I don't know if I'm going to get through my whole haul today. Dracula is Canadian. Things you learned. Dracula is Romanian. Here's my Discord, by the way. If you want to go there, chat comics, and my Letterboxd, and my Goodreads. All of those links are down in the description or now in the chat, thanks to super producer James. Don't tell Americans about Beguiling. That's my secret last-ditch spot to check for hard-to-find indie comics. Mine as well. It's one of I love going to different comic shops whenever we go out of town or go to on vacation or something. I always check out which comic shops are in the area and try to hit them up. And there's certain shops that I have like on my radar that I want to go to. Like they're like on my bucket list of comic shops to go to, and the Beguiling is one of those. So I'll make it to Canada one day. It's collecting old manga strips, mostly shorts from old, obscure, cheap Japanese magazines. I DM'd you a post from IG. Thank you, Davey. That sounds awesome. The only manga anthology that I have ever held and looked through in my own hands is Shonen Jump. And I love that kind of format of an anthology of manga. Like the old Garo magazine and stuff. I've never seen one of those in my hands. You pros. I know. But, I'm trying to mix up things. Taylor already knows. You're Toronto too? We should all meet up. Oh, no, Harvey's not Toronto. Harvey's from the Midwest, Midwest of America. I'm also in Toronto. There's another Torontoan. What do you call someone from Toronto? Do you have a name? I feel like Torontoan would make sense. I don't know. It's The Shining. You want to get sued? It's the Shining. I don't know. What does that mean? Is that an inside joke? Have you read How to Read Nancy? I have. That's a great book. I love that book. I have a lot of Nancy books. I have the one that Fantagraphics put out that was like it was like the museum hardcover book that came out with when they did the Ernie Bushmiller exhibit over at the I'm drawing a blank. The Billy Ireland Museum. I have How to Read Nancy, and then I also have the Ernie Bushmiller graphic novel biography done by Bill Griffith. Hey, Taylor in chat, listening while making dinner. Love to Forge. Thank you, Elon. Love a good DeForge fan. This is crazy. I'm looking forward to Taylor's thoughts on The Shining because I remember as a kid reading it, the topiary stuff was very scary, but I don't know if it would be someone not 13 reading it at night in a basement. I haven't got to any scary parts. I'm still, the part in the book I'm at is the same part I've been in for a few weeks. So if you've heard me talk about it, I'm still haven't picked it up since then. I know. I was in the habit of reading my prose books at my son's basketball practice. That was like my time to read my prose books. So I'd bring a prose book while he's at basketball practice, and then I'd get a bunch done. That's how I read Slaughterhouse 5. But my work schedule's been conflicting with my son's basketball practice, so my wife's been taking him, and I haven't had a chance to read my prose. So I need to find a new time and place to read my prose, I guess. But what was I saying? Oh, the part of the book I'm still at is before the family's even moved into the hotel. I think they're moving in currently, actually. Moving into the hotel that they're watching over. So I haven't got to any of the scary parts yet. Well, besides, like, they've referred to things that happened in the past that were vicious, I guess, but not scary necessarily. Toronto has invaded the chat. Elon, part of this meal. Toronto's a good city for comics. That's why I want to go there. I also want to go to Columbus, Ohio, because they have a lot of shops I want to go to there as well, including the Laughing Ogre. That's another bucket list comic shop that I want to go to, which I think Paperback Dan visited last year. Is that rhetorical, Chris? I want to go to Toronto for the fish. You still need to go to the Ogre shop in Columbus. Yes, here's Paperback Dan. He did go to there. The Laughing Ogre. So I read it. I listened to an audiobook. There's an audiobook. I think it's called The Comic Shop. I talked about this on my channel before, and it's about different comic shops. So I think, and I think it was done by someone in the Columbus comic scene. So they hit up a lot of the Columbus shops on the book. They talked about them and talked to the owners and things. And then the person writing the book, which I wish I knew the name of right now, the author, he went all over, I think, the world. I think he visited a shop in Europe, or at least talked to a shop in Europe. And then I think the Beguiling is on there and a bunch of other shops across America. So all those shops that popped up in the book, I do want to pick up. Taylor, so are we getting the zine before GTA 6? You said I wasn't going to have it released before GTA 7. But yes, when does GTA 6 come out? Is there an official date yet? I know that's like been pushed back for a number of years. It's probably 3 to 4 hours away from you, tops. I think it's even less than that, Dan, which is even a worse crime. I think it's 2 to 3 hours, maybe. I don't think it's quite 3 hours. I think it's 2.5 hours. I don't know. I'd have to look again. But it's just far enough away where I can't like make it a day trip. Probably. I mean, I could if I went by myself, but I don't think I'd want to take the wife and kid to Columbus, Ohio for one day and come back. But it's just far enough away that I can't make it a day trip. But like not far enough away to where I shouldn't have gone already. I love how people in chat are sending me Instagram DMs of relevant links and stuff to look at. I love that. So thank you so much. I have the chat blowing up in my Instagram DMs. Harvey doesn't have a physical form because he is a ghost. Oh, here we go. Torontonian. Okay, that makes sense. Of the new DC Vertigo titles that are coming out, are there any that you're looking forward to? Yes. There was one that caught my eye. Is it the Denise Camp one? New DC Vertigo. It wasn't the James Tynion one because I'm super behind on that. Here's the full list. Let me see here. There's A Nice House by the Sea, number 7. Bleeding Hearts by Denise Camp and Matt Hollingsworth and Stipian Morian. Definitely going to pick that up. Denise Camp wrote 2 of the comics that made it on my top 25 comics of 2025 list with the Sordid Crisis events and Absolute Martian Manhunter. So Denise Camp's definitely on my radar. And Matt Hollingsworth colors. Can't go wrong there. End of Life by Kyle Starks, Steve Pugh. That's caught my eye because I'm a big fan of Kyle Starks. The Peril of the Brutal Dark by Chris Condon and Jacob Phillips. That one's interesting to me. Tom Taylor and Derek Robertson. I'm a huge fan of Derek Robertson's artwork, so that one could be interesting to me. They're doing a Necrotaceous, and I think that's Simon Spurrier, Aaron Campbell, and A Walking Shadow. There's a few of them that have caught my eye. I probably won't be picking them up in singles, though. I'll probably pick them up in collections. Wow, Taylor, you don't know The Shining? The Simpsons. Oh, totally off my radar. I'm so sorry. Yes, The Shining. Josh, I thought you had a typo. I thought you were talking about The Shining, and I was like, oh, The Shining, but he put an extra in there. Okay. Yes. Treehouse of Horror. When you get to ATX, go to Austin Books and Comics. Thank you. Thank you so much for the super chat again, Oni Baba Yaga. So gracious. Austin is definitely another scene that I want to go to. I heard they have a really good comic book scene. So that's a place I want to, especially the food. I hear Austin, Texas has great food as well. So I'd love to get down there one day. Meeting yesterday on Justice Channel, seeing you on today, joining your Discord. Wow, that's an intense start. Thank you, Patch. I appreciate that. Dr. Patch. We found out yesterday you're a doctor. But thank you. I appreciate that. Do you have any Sunday press books? I don't think so. I think I do think that museum exhibit book was a joint thing with Sunday Press and Fantagraphics. I think it has both their logos on it. But I don't think I have any of the Sunday Press books that came out before or even during the Fantagraphics acquisition. I'm trying to think. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Some of them have caught my eye, but I just haven't. People from Toronto are called Canadians. Is that an American thing, like giving specific names for people from a town? Oh, is it? Well, he said Torontonian, but also Cupcakes Comic Reviews isn't originally from Toronto. He's from India and then Germany. He's lived in a bunch of places all over the world. So I don't know if he is speaking out of school, if he knows that as Torontonian, or if he just made up that off the top of his head. I don't know if that's a thing. It should be. I'm a proud Hoosier, despite what my son says. GTA 6 is November 19th, 2026. Yes. Yes, then. Josh, my first zine will come out before then. I've been laying out planning pages. And I've started to write things for it. I'm in the early stages. But yes. People from Dan are called Dandians. I pre-ordered Resident Evil 9 yesterday. There's a good chunk of shops in Columbus. I visited 3 to 4 of them when I went there. Oh, geez. New Tom Taylor Vertigo looks cool. That's one of Derek Robertson art. Derek Robertson of The Boys fame, and also one of my favorite series. That's embarrassing. One of my favorite series I can't even think of the name of. Warren Ellis. It's off the tip of my tongue. What is it? Now to spiraling. Ellis. This is embarrassing. Vertigo. Derek Robertson. Transmetropolitan. Derek Robertson's the art on that. Does the art on that, and I think Warren Ellis' writing is tremendous on that series. But I don't think Derek Robertson's art gets enough credit for that series. Wow, I can't even. I have no words for that brain fart I just had. Good day to one and all. Thank you, Super Laugh Hard, for joining us. What's the rest of the haul? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, good, because I still have like a stack of this many books. I got Kramer's Ergot number 9. This is a book I didn't have in my collection, so I corrected that. This is the Great Sammy Harcum anthology, and also my first Kramer's. So I unfortunately don't have any other Kramer's. There was 10 issues / collections of Kramer's. I think the first few issues were just Sammy's doing a one-man anthology, maybe, or maybe there's a couple other cartoonists in it. But then they started getting into these thick collections, and I love a good cartoonist anthology. These are some of my favorite things to read because I'll have my phone next to me and I'll be reading, and as I discover a new cartoonist, I'll follow him on Instagram, and it's just a great time. So Kramer's number 9. I got a Theo Ellsworth joint. This is Understanding Monster. This is a Theo Ellsworth I did not own. His artwork is insane. So he's one of those maniacal mark makers. Just so many lines on a page. Like, look at that. Just insanity. So I need to show off. I think I have a few Theo Ellsworth books I need to show off on my channel. So I picked that up. It's published by Secret Acres. This was this is from a lot on eBay. This guy was selling like a ton of these books for super cheap. And this is one of them too. This is Scatterbrain. This is a collecting issues 1 through 3 of this comics anthology, and it's also signed by Sergio Aragones. And it was just, again, in this lot. If you break down how much I paid for the lot, I got this book for a couple dollars. But it's got Mike Mignola in it, Sergio Aragones, Jim Woodring, Steve Parkhouse, Dave Cooper, Jay Stevens, Evan Dorkin, James Kachalka, Craig Thompson, David Sheldon. So there's a bunch of cartoonists in here that I didn't know Scatterbrain. Never even heard of Scatterbrain, but it was a 3-issue anthology, and I picked it up. So that was fun and tremendous. I talked about this on my last haul, how I ordered from Gutter Pop Comics, and they sent me the wrong issue of Smoke Signal, and I said, "Don't worry, he's great. I don't want to still order from Gutter Pop. It's an awesome shop, and Steven there is an awesome guy. I'll contact him, and I'm sure he'll make it right." He instantly did. He sent me. This is the issue that I wanted. It was a Gary Panther issue of Smoke Signal. These are great. These are they started off as anthologies, but now they're like one cartoonist per issue. But they're like newspaper tabloid, like broadsheets things. If you go to Desert Island Comics in Brooklyn, which is a comic shop, great comic shop. I have visited that one. Not the new location. I visited the old location, but so I still need to go back and visit the new location. But this is a comic he puts out, and if you walk into the shop, they're free. But if you order them online, I think they're like $10, which isn't a big, that's not too much. But when I visited him, he had like 3 or 4 different issues. I'm like, can I pick up one of each? He's like, yeah, sure. Pick up whatever you need. So both Gutter Pop and Desert Island are 2 great shops. And then he sent me this one for my Trouble, which you didn't have to do the Steven and Gutter Pop, but I appreciate it nonetheless. And this is I forget who the artist is on this one, but the artwork looks amazing. I think it's a mangaka, but it's also maniacally insane artwork. I don't know. There's not like an artist name, obviously, on the. Oh, the Worldwide Visual Underground. No, I don't know. I don't know who did that one. Harvey, do you know who did this one? This is Smoke Signal number October 2022. But the Gary Panther one is the one I wanted because I'm a huge Gary Panther fan. And then I have about 10 more minutes. I'm going to try to rush through my haul, and I'll scope through the chat as quickly as I can. This is Lovable Oath. This is by Ed Luce. This was also in that lot of books that I got. And I've always had my eye on this and wondered what it was like, but I've never read anything by Ed Luce. So I'm excited to dive into this. Definitely has some like heavy metal vibes. So that'll be exciting to dive into. This is Mark Bell's Pure Pajamas. Mark Bell is a cartoonist that's been on my radar over the last year or so that I've been trying to pick up multiple things from. You'll see another one of his comics later in this haul. He's a really cool cartoonist that I need to do a video on because I have a few of his things now. Finally, I picked up Chris Ware's date book, the Acme Novelty Date Book 2002 through 2023. This is the 3rd volume of the Chris Ware sketchbooks. I had the first 2 volumes, and I've been waiting to pick this one up, and I saw it for a ridiculous price, so I finally picked it up. I don't have the cool box set, obviously, but I didn't need the box set, and these are amazing. If you're a fan of Chris Ware and you want to see him draw in other styles that he doesn't typically draw in, and see how great of an artist he is, pick these up. And there's actually like comics in there too. They're not just like sketches. Here's the Nathan Cowdery joint that I talked about. This is the Crash Site hardcover Fantagraphics collection. So this is the first Nathan Cowdery I've ever picked up and read, and now I have War Epic thanks to Harvey. But Nathan Cowdery is an awesome cartoonist, and I want more of his stuff. I think in one of the issues of War Epic, there was a picture of Nathan Cowdery with other comics that he's done that I'm not familiar with, so I need to pick those up. Here's the R. Crumb section of my haul. I got these from Cheap Graphic Novels. Their Black Friday sale is always insane. They always have crazy prices on there. And they also unearth a lot of things that weren't available on the website. I think Max just goes through. Max is a great guy, by the way. He's the owner, proprietor, and guy that runs Cheap Graphic Novels. I think he like goes through the warehouse or something and finds stuff that's not listed on the website for whatever reason, and then puts them out there for Black Friday. I don't know how he does it, but this is the Crumb Compendium by Fantagraphics, and this lists every comic that R. Crumb's artwork or anything he's ever done, including album covers, everything. So this is cool to have. It's a really thick collection too, so you can see how prolific Robert Crumb was, or still is, I guess. And then I got 3 volumes of the complete Crumb comics. These were on Cheap Graphic Novels website. They were not originally listed there, but on Black Friday they popped up for, I think they're like 50% off or something crazy. One of them is a hardcover, and that's volume 17. So I think I have there's 4 here in this haul, so I think I have 5 of the complete Crumb comics now. With I think 17 is the last, or 19. Which volume's the last one? I think I don't know, but I have 5 of them now. Here is volume number 15. The rest of these are paperback. They're both released. They're released in paperback, hardcover, and signed hardcover. The other hardcover that I have is signed. I managed to get a signed copy of one of them, which is kind of cool. And this is volume 2. So this has some of Crumb's earliest comics in it, which is cool. Here's some more DC joints. This is the one I was talking about from that's from DC, but was originally published with a different company, which was Fawcett. This is Plastic Man Archives Volume 7. So I only have 2 volumes of this. They released 8 volumes of the archives for Plastic Man, and I'm trying to pick up the whole set. I only have 2 of them now. But this is a great Golden Age comic that I feel like would appeal to modern fans. I talked about that a little bit on OmniDog's channel yesterday. That should be a video I do. What Golden Age comics do I think modern fans would enjoy? But this is one of them. Like Golden Age Superman and Batman, I don't know that I'd recommend those to anybody, but Plastic Man, Captain Marvel, aka Shazam, would be another one I'd recommend. If you want to get into outside of superheroes, I'd say like Carl Barks, obviously. These were also on the Cheap Graphic Novels website that were unearthed and popped up. And these are the Steve Ditko Omnibus volumes 1 and 2. One of them has Hawk and Dove. One of them has Shade the Changing Man. And these were released a few years ago. These are standard sized, but the paper on these and the way the artwork lays on them is amazing. I wish Marvel and DC would release all their comics on this paper, because the way the color and inks lay on this paper is absolutely perfect. It mimics newsprint, but it holds up better than newsprint, obviously. And that's why I sold my my Jack Kirby Bronze Age Omnibus and the Commandy Omnibus, because I opted for these versions of them. So these are all the Steve Ditko ones that exist. There are still some of the Jack Kirby ones that I'm trying to hunt down, but that's my preferred format for reading DC from Ditko or Kirby. Now, the Steve Ditko Omnibus that came out recently does have more material than these books have, because it includes all of his Legion of Superheroes stuff. But I have that I think I have most of that in another format. If not, I will eventually whenever they release a Bronze Age Omnibus or what have you. So yeah, there's that. A few more books here. The Green Hand. This is a book by New York Review Comics, and it's Nicole Clavelo Comics, who's someone I'm not familiar with. I think she's from France, I think. Yeah, France. And her comics were never collected in English until this book came out. And this is designed by Daniel Klaus. And Dan Klaus even writes a cool foreword in here about how big of a fan of her comics that he was, even without being able to read them in English because they were always in French. So it's cool to read that. And like I said, I like to see cartoonist influences, and that's one of his. Here's the Noah Van Sciver book that I painfully and regretfully did not have in my collection that I do now, and that's the Johnny Appleseed biography that he did with Paul Boole. I think this is the first. Correct me if I'm wrong, someone in the chat, but I think this is the first Noah Van Sciver book that Fantagraphics released. But yeah, Johnny Appleseed. I showed this book off on Omnidog's Vault yesterday. It's not a comic, but my wife got me this because she bought me a VCR for Christmas, and I'm slowly gathering a little bit of a VHS collection. I don't have the time to tell you why I picked up a VCR and VHS, but mostly based on nostalgia. But this VHS cover book is amazing. I'm thinking about doing an overview of this on my channel, even though it's not comics related, but I think it's comics adjacent because it is art and words, but it's collecting all these cool VHS covers from like B and C movies. And it's really, really cool. So I might do a video on that, show that off. And then last but not least, I got two more collect things here. I got Pee-wee's Playhouse, the Dummy Zine issue number 1. This is collecting all the artwork from Gary Panter, Wayne White, Mark Newgarden, and Kaz that they did when they were doing the set design and character designs for Pee-wee's Playhouse. Huge Pee-wee's Playhouse fan. There is a thing going around right now to vote on a Lego playset, or not playset, sorry, a Lego set of the Pee-wee's Playhouse is what I was trying to say. A fans made it. Now it's up for vote for Lego to officially make it. Everyone go vote on that because that would be the coolest playset ever, or the coolest Lego set ever. I keep calling it a playset. I also got Worn Tough Elbow issue number 3 from Mark Bell. I don't have issues number 1 and 2, so I guess I'm going to hunt those down. I think they're really hard to find. But Pee-wee's Playhouse is one of my favorite shows of all time, and it the set design was by Gary Panter, and Gary Panter won 5 Emmy Awards for the set of Pee-wee's Playhouse, just to show you how cool the set was and how cool of a Lego set that would be. So everyone go vote on that. I'll probably share links on my Instagram, I guess. All right, let's get through the chat here, and then I will get out of here. We do a haul video. People love that stuff. What I've been doing, Harvey, is chopping up all of my haul sections of my live shows and making that into a haul video. That way, if you watch the show live, you get to see the haul, but also people that don't watch live can see the hauls as well. So that's what I've been doing. What's the ETA on the Goiter Guy interview? I need to get in contact with Josh again, but I'm hoping for within the next couple of weeks. I need to read Goiter still and move things around in my schedule and make sure that he's available as well. So, courtesy Greg Recca, it's official. Lazarus Fallen has been postponed because of Michael Lark's stroke. Oh, that's Chris Brogan. Thank you for the news, but that's awful. Thoughts go out to Michael Lark for sure. When you get here, I'll take you to all the things, man. My treat, hit me up. Is that Toronto or Columbus? Terrible. I tried to encourage you, it didn't work. Calling you out seems to be doing more to get the zine. Prove me wrong. It's fair. I don't know. I need motivation anyways to do things. I'm a procrastinator and / I have a lot of like self-confidence issues on things. So Josh, everything you've said about it's been helping. So don't stop. Don't give up on me. Torontonians is what they're called. I'm not throwing blank in the air here. I wasn't accusing you of that. I just didn't know if you're like making a joke or not. It's definitely not an American thing. For example, people from Nepal are called Napolitanos. Or for Americans, people from Naples are called Neapolitans. Toronto is also nicknamed the Six for the 6 boroughs. I do know that. That's like all their sports teams use that moniker. And also Ariel Helwani, I think he lives in Toronto now, but I think he's originally from Montreal. But he always talks about the 6. I think Drake talks about the 6 as well. I wish I could find some of the older Kramers. 8 is my favorite. Do you have the collection of Sammy Harkham's short comics? I don't think so. Is it the What's it called? I think it collected the first few issues of Kramer's Ergot, didn't it? I don't have that though. Kramer's are my favorite anthologies. Okay, I'm leaving since all the Americans doubt me. Nobody doubted you. Everything to get. No, yeah, I don't have that one. I've had my eye on it though. Kramer's Ergot anthologies are definitely worth searching out. Snapshots in Time, they're all basically great collections. Oh, here we go. Oni Baba Yaga. Again, thank you so much for the super chats. You're amazing. Did you look at Sync by John Leese yet? No, but I'm writing it down right now so I can not forget. Welcome to Glasgow. John Leese books. Oh, this looks frightening and awesome. Killer Clowns. Definitely on my radar now. Thank you, Oni Baba Yaga. Hello there. How are you doing today? I've had an insane Marvel haul, Omni haul. That's amazing. I'm going to get out of the chat, but if you on the replay and down in the comments, if you want to put down what your haul was, I'd be interested. That's the James Jean issue of Smoke Signal. Thank you. Love Peter Pajamas, Eternaut, EC for Golden Age. The best Golden Age comics that I have stood the test of time, same as the comics today that are the best, will stand the test of time, the non-superhero ones. I agree, especially EC and Carl Barks for sure. But I think Will Eisner's The Spirit, I think Jack Cole's Plastic Man, and I think CC Beck and Otto Bender's Captain Marvel all deserve a spot up there. Norm Brayfogle and Kelly Jones will still be amazing 100 years from now. What's the full name of that VHS book? It is called VHS Cover Art, and the author on it is Thomas Hodge, the Dude Designs. I think my wife bought it on Amazon. So it's an awesome book, though. It's like the perfect coffee table book because it's a book that you just have on your coffee table and you just pick it up and flip through it every once in a while. And every time you see something cool. Here's a link to the Lego Pee-wee's Playhouse set for you to vote on. Everyone, please go vote on this. Even if you don't intend on buying it, I don't care. Let's break the system. We need to get this made. I don't buy a lot of Lego sets. I have the DeLorean here. I have the 66 Batmobile I'm working on, and the Seinfeld set I have as well. But this would be, I'd be first in the door to buy this. I want to say that Abe Lincoln comic, The Hypo, was his first comic Fantagraphics, but I'm not sure. I have that one as well. So either way, I have the first, I guess. Self-confidence. Have you seen The State of the World? You know a lot more than most. Make a zine. Thank you, Josh. All right. Before I get out of here, please go over on panelboundcomics.com, order any books there, save $2 off of your order by using Taylor Talks Comics, all one word. If you're going to put a bigger order in, use my other promo code, TTC Ship It Together, all one word, TTC Ship It Together, and you'll save 5% off that larger order. Give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, share my videos, share my content with the world. I appreciate that. Share it on Reddit, share it on Facebook. I appreciate that so much. I got big plans in this year for the channel. I want to grow the channel. Thank you so much for all the subscribers I have so far. Hitting 5,000 last year was an amazing goal. I didn't think it was obtainable, but I did, or attainable. But I did, and that's only thanks to you guys. Little sneak peek. I do have a goal. I kind of want to hit 10,000 in 2026. 10,000 subscribers. And I can only do it with your help. Anybody that shares my videos elsewhere, I appreciate it so much. Here's my Discord. You can go over talk comics with us over there freely. Here is my Goodreads. Thank you so much, James, for sharing that. Thanks, Taylor. Have a great rest of your day. Matt, you have a great day as well. Good stuff. Pee-wee. I love Pee-wee. Strange Love Studios, thank you so much for joining us and talking about Pee-wee because Pee-wee's awesome. And there's my Letterboxd. Have you read any of M. Yarvin's work? Tales of... I have not. I will look it up after the stream, though. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day. Keep talking comics.